Thank you. So we've got item here where we're going to be discussing transferring property to from behind Mary Wall School to the Park Department if they secure a grant. So do you want to walk us through that, Pat?
Yes. So thank you for setting the meeting up so quickly. We got word that the federal land and water grant date moved to February 1st for the grants. Usually they're June or July. And we saw the criteria of the grant and the master plan for Greenleaf Park fit this grant application perfect. So we met with the mayor and he approved $1 million match. He wanted to go in for the maximum amount. He would like to get the entire master plan implemented. And part of that master plan is the transfer of 24 acres from the Wall School over to Greenleaf. That fits basically the back part of the school. A lot of people already think that land is part of Greenleaf. We had, in talking to Danny, we found paperwork. We did this probably 20 plus years ago when Dr. Negroni was superintendent. We weren't successful with that grant. And we feel this time we've got a very good, strong program. We've got great community support. And it involves basically going through every inch of the park in the back portion. It would create that second softball diamond, refurbish the existing one, refurbish the existing soccer field, put a play unit both at the soccer field and a splash pad. And then at the superintendent's request, we include a new play equipment at the Wall School end of the park. It includes opening the trails through the woodland section of the park and then repair of the culverts through the wetlands. So I think it's going to really open a lot of opportunity for your science and phys ed classes for the school. And then, as you know, Greenleaf doesn't ever can never accept community development block grant money. So it's hard getting a grant to fit that park because of the income of that neighborhood. So it's been probably close to 30 years since a major renovation was done at the park. The last renovation was the community center at the park. So we're just very grateful for your interest, and we look forward towards your support for this grant application.
Thank you.
I was excited when Pat brought it forward, having taught at Mary Walsh School when Mary Walsh was the principal and it was 16-acre school. And just to have the park renovated behind the school be such an asset to the school. And Pat and his team do such a good job working with us. It's just, having taught there, it's a very exciting project. So I was very supportive when Pat called me and wanted to bring it forward.
So, Mindy, do you have the agenda in front of you? Attorney Phelps?
I can pull it up if you want me to, Chris.
Oh, I have it in front of me.
Oh,
You're
okay.
muted, Mindy. You're muted.
Sorry. All right. Well, I'm sorry. What was the question?
It is listed as 2 items. Do you think we need, if you see the agenda in front of you?
Yep.
Do you think that requires 2 different votes,
Yes.
the way it's worded?
Yes. Because one is doing with the land of 24 acres, and the second one is it's a support of the transfer. So more combined it into one, but the way it's listed, I mean, your support is going to be by the vote to allow the use of or convey the 24 acres to the park department or the park commissioners, I guess it would be.
And the Exhibit A, Pat, is that the actual assessor's map of the property itself?
Yes. And then I think you also had a copy of the master plan as part of your package as well. We'll have to do meets and bounds still.
Right.
So there'll be a formal vote when we have that done to bring before the entire school committee with the meets and bounds.
revise the vote language so that would be vote to transfer custody and control of 24 acres of land constituting a portion of the Walsh School property shown on the master plan, attached as Exhibit A, subject to the approval, transferred to the commissioner, subject to the approval of the Springfield City Council and Mayor upon approval of the grant. So you're combining the two. And Terry, I can work with you on that language.
That's fine.
Okay.
I mean, if it's, I'm sorry,
Pete.
I'm sorry, Chris.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Pat. And as you guys know, that's a beautiful piece of property up there, and sounds like a great plan. So I'm prepared to make a motion based upon Attorney Phelps's revision of the of the agenda.
Okay. Go ahead.
What do I have to? I mean, I thought
Oh, you're making
the way that she had put it, I thought I was just going to make that motion. I could.
That's fine.
I can restate it if you want.
I think it's recorded.
Well, as long as Terry has it.
Yeah.
Yep, I'll be fine.
Could
So
we
is
ask
there-
questions?
Yes, absolutely.
Pat, what has been the feedback of the community with this transition?
They're excited, Maria. We've been working with them probably close to 15 years when we didn't get that first grant and making revisions to the master plan. And every 3 to 4 years, we've been meeting with the neighborhood council. So they're in full support and they're excited that there's finally an opportunity to implement this master plan.
Okay, thank you. And I'm prepared to second it.
Okay, so we have a motion and we have a second. Terry, would you call the roll, please?
Sure. Mr. Collins,
Yes.
Attorney Murphy,
Yes.
and Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Thank you. That's the only voting item, but we do have some information, which is an update on the Conservatory of the Arts building issues. And then a second update on the ventilation system work.
Yeah, so they kind of tie in together. I just spoke to the superintendent at 4:15. John Kerrigan and our trade staff are doing a great job. They've got us on schedule for the install of the iWaves and the Carrier OptiClean units. So we feel very confident we're going to make that early March deadline that we discussed almost 2 months ago with the school committee. Our industrial hygienist contacted us in the past week, and he's requested a meeting with both our mechanical engineer, with the owner of the Conservatory of the Arts property. They came up with a different calculation for airflow for the building. And in notifying the property owner, we found that the building commissioner also agrees or in a similar suggestion that he questions the calculation on the airflow for that building. So we're trying to get a meeting with the property owner for February 12th. And the bottom line is this is why we're doing these reviews of all of our buildings, to have these discussions. And I don't have any other information other than there's been a question on air exchange for that building. And once we get more information, we'll update the school committee.
Did I read somewhere that in some of the communication going back and forth that the building commissioner said it's not in code, right? Does not meet code at this point.
That's it. That's what he feels. It appears that the property owner feels he is meeting code, and that's why we need to have this meeting with both we want the building commissioner there, our industrial hygienist, the mechanical engineer that the industrial hygienist brought in, which is TJ Conway. And we'll get everyone around the table and just see where everyone's at. And basically everyone's math is a little bit different. So we want to, of course, straighten it out, and we want to find solutions, and we just got to get everyone around the table. So I don't have any other, I called the superintendent when I learned of this, and he said, well, let's get with the subcommittee of the school committee that handles these issues, so you could be informed, and we're gonna, like we do with everything, take it one step at a time, and we'll keep you updated as we find out more information.
Impress upon the building owner that it's a tight time frame, that we're looking to open school
Yes,
in April. And so this is not, this doesn't, you can't transfer me, this doesn't admit of delay. It needs to be handled with dispatch.
we will relay that, and I'm gonna invite both the superintendent and Pat Schroet to that meeting as well when we, so that way the school department will be well represented at the meeting when we do meet with the property owner.
We completely get the sense of urgency. Absolutely.
Committee members have any questions of Pat on that update on both the ventilation system and conservatory?
But
Okay.
I don't. Thank you, Chris.
I don't either.
Okay, then we have gone through the items of the agenda. The only thing that we're allowed to do at this point is adjourn. So someone want to make a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Terry, would you call the roll? Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Maria.
Mr. Collins,
Yes.
Attorney Murphy,
Yes.
and Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Take
everyone.
care.
Good to see you.
Thanks, Pat.
Be a
Take
great
care, guys.
picture in the paper.